Stand together in the ocean, all together in a moment. Forget the weather, make the sand out of snow. Sand out of snow.
Oh, it's been a while. It's been a while, pedophiles. How are you doing? Live, laugh, love. There's a new potato in town. What else has happened since I've been gone? Well, not been gone, but I've just not been... I did an episode with Alex Camp, the last one. I hope you check that out. And it's just been a little while since I've done a solo one. I missed a week. I'll go into that more later. What's happened since the last one? Boris made a road map, drew a little map. Good job, Boris. I like that guy. How many people are clicking the dislike button now? I love that at the moment. If I to keep doing it all the time, I'll be around new people. Like with the job that I've got, I'll go into it. All right, give me a sec. But I like to go. Someone mentions, oh, bloody Joris Bonson, and then I go, I don't get all the fuss, mate. Like, he seems like a nice guy. Seems like a nice guy to me, with his floppy hair and his, you know, that kind of thing. I don't get it. But people look at you like you've just gone, Hitler had some good ideas. Yeah. But I'm just doing it for a joke. People love to say, fuck the Tories. I don't know anything about politics. I know that the Tories aren't good. I hear enough about it. But I just love how it's like a badge of honour for people. Never kissed a Tory. Never kissed a Tory. Are you a Tory? I'm not going to kiss you. Never kissed a Tory. What's that? I was drunk that night. And you didn't mention your political... You did. I agreed with some of it. And then I kissed you. On the tip of your Tory dick. Yeah, so get over yourself, people who say that. Oh, fuck the Tories. Just get a personality instead. Instead of making that your thing. It's boring. Whoa, well, Phill Sutton, why don't you fucking have a personality instead of sitting in front of a guy even don't even know how you in front of the camera guy? Huh? Why don't you do that, me? Huh? Who am I to say fuck those people? I'm saying I'm as bad as the fuck the Tory people. I'm saying fuck the Tory people. That's just as bad. Don't fuck those people. No, literally don't fuck them. Never fucked a Tory. Fuck the Tory guy. Girl. Yeah, so Boris made a map, and apparently it leads us out of the, that word that everyone says. I'm going to try not to say it anymore. It's boring, isn't it? It's an anagram of Dovik. Bovid. I know it's not an anagram, but I prefer Bovid over the other one. Just sounds better, doesn't it? Sounds kind of German. Bovid. Anyway, I'm talking nonsense. I knew that it would be. If you're still here, fucking 4 minutes in. Welcome back to my podcast. I've been doing this now for... Is it 92 episodes, this? I think this is 92. 92 episodes. I am always surprised at how many episodes I've done. Every podcast I go, whoa, I've done 3 episodes. Whoa, I've done 8 episodes. Whoa. And it goes up in increments. But 92 is not bad. So I'll be having a few more guests on in the next coming weeks. So I hope you're enjoying tuning in, because times are changing, I think, when it comes to the way that we are consuming the media. The way we consume the media. Can I do the cool one hand thing? How lame is this that I brought it up and no, I can't do it. If I get some leverage, you know what I do when I'm opening a tin of beans? I don't put my finger in the ring pull. And by the way, any tin that doesn't have a ring pull don't exist. If you make tins, if you make food in a tin, if you make anything in a tin, put a ring pull on it. They've been invented. The can opener should be void. The tin opener, the can opener, get rid of it. Ring pull only. Why would you not? Well, anyway, what I do with the ring pull is I shove the knife under it to get some leverage. And then once I've got some leverage, I can open a tin of beans with one hand. Oh, God. Yes, I'm a man. This is the first beer I've had in a while, you know. I don't drink that often. But it's my day off tomorrow and the day after. Day off work, that is. That's right. I'm working again. I've become a doctor. Some people it takes 7 years. For me, it took 7 months. What can I say? I got my PhD in refrigeration. There's a refrigerator. The new fridge that we were supposed to have, but it wasn't. They didn't put a freezer in it. It's in my living room. It's over there. That's why I said I'm a doctor of refrigeration. What was I actually on about? A new job that I've got. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm one of the dumbest people that you listen to. What I am doing, it's all I'll say is it's in care work. I'm in care work. Yes. Oh, of course I get a chance to sit on a chair in care work. I sit on a chair and I read the story Bears in Chairs at the care home. That's actually true. I've been reading a book, like a children's book, called The Bear in the Chair. But I say it like the bear in the chair. Bear in the chair. That's how I say it. So when I'm reading it, I have to make sure I go, bear in the chair. Over there. And it sounds so unnatural coming out of my face hole. But yeah, it's in care work. I won't go into it because I've only had the job now about 3 weeks. And I have the interview for the job tomorrow. Because I originally was on this like temporary to permanent contract. And I like saying the full words. I don't like temp to perm. I don't like abbreviations like that. Just say the word. Just say the words. Is it really? Do you know what I hate, actually? This is something that sticks in my mind from when I was in high school. My form teacher, lovely lady, Miss Fraternali. You remember her? Anyone who went to Esker Fletcher before, the Salford Stallion. You know, that guy who had sex with children and everyone called him the Salford Stallion. They gave him a valiant name for that. Anyway, not him, that school, a teacher who I had, my drama teacher, my form teacher, Miss Fraternali, Italian, she's taught me, I hope she doesn't teach anymore, and well, no one's got to watch this, who knows. She taught me Italian swear words. I don't remember any of them, because it was a long time ago that, but anyway, that was a good thing she did. This is a thing that annoyed me and it stayed in my head forever. We come back after summer holidays or maybe half term, and she's doing the register, and she's the kind of teacher who, James, and then James goes, here, and then she goes, James, did you go to Butlins with your brother? And James was like, yeah, miss. And then it got to Stacey, and then she goes, oh, you're looking tanned. Did you enjoy your holidays? Did you enjoy your hauls? Did you enjoy your holidays? Did you enjoy your hauls? Why say the full word and then repeat the sentence with an abbreviation? Ha 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 ha. Lol. Don't say lol anyway, unless it's ironic. But what was I on about? Yeah, that's an annoying abbreviation. Temp to perm. I get back. I get back to it. This is how my mind works, though. I have it ADD. ADDDDD. So temp to perm thing, this job. Basically, I've just said it. I've said it. Temporary to permanent. And I've been doing it 3 weeks. You get chucked in the deep end, pretty much. And it's not a swim teaching job either, so... because I used to be a swim teacher. Anyway. And I've been doing the job 3 weeks, and I do the interview tomorrow. And I don't do it there at the workplace that I've been at for 37 and a half hours a week for 3 weeks. I do it at home on Zoom. That makes sense, doesn't it? If you'd have said that a year ago, all right, maybe it's been a year, maybe more than a year ago, before COVID, then people would have thought you're insane. It still is insane. It's insane. Why am I doing it from home on my day off? Why am I doing this all the time? This podcast. I don't speak like this. It's a camera thing. As in, like, there's a camera on me and I'm acting differently. Don't wear grey on a hot day. It's not even a hot day. I just sweat. Anyway, so doing the interview for it tomorrow, even though I've been working there 3 weeks. And I won't tell you much about the actual job because, I've got the interview tomorrow. I don't want them to go, you know what, let's just Google him. And then they find this and they watch it and they go, this guy's blabbing about the job to everyone. But it's 10 miles away and I've been cycling there and I have the legs of a Deliveroo employee now. Just a guy whose legs are constantly in motion. Right now underneath the camera, I'm on a pedal bike disguised as a couch. No, but my legs are actually really hurting. But they're also jacked. And it feels pretty good, Cycling all the time. I'll do like an early shift and I get the train. But still, you're cycling to the station up in Manchester. And then cycling from the station where it is, kind of, to 15 minutes to my workplace for a bit of cycling. And then on the way home at night, there's no trains for another hour. So I cycle the 10 miles back. And it's a good time, man. I really love riding my bike. Yeah. Someone was like, what's your favourite sport or activity, exercise-wise? I'd say riding my bike. Because it's night time. And it's kind of like out the way. The journey home is all downhill. All of it. Perfect. All of it. Decline. Is that right? Yes. Decline the entire way. And I put on my playlist and I listen to the songs and I listen to Greta Van Fleet, Heat Above. And I drum it. I sit up because I can ride my bike with no handlebars. I can do that. Remember that song? I can do that and I like to do that because it fixes my back. It's not like, oh, he thinks he's cool. It's like, no, my back hurts. I want to sit up. But what I also do is I drum the music and I sing it and I'm on my bike and I'm flying down a hill and that's what I'm doing and I'm having the best time. And even whenever I leave work and it's cold, I'm like, oh, journey home now after a 7.5 hour shift. Do I want to do that? Oh, it's 10 o'clock at night. It's freezing. I know now within 5-10 minutes I'm going to be having a great time. And when I'm on my days off, I actually crave being on my bike now. I used to think, imagine craving exercise like I crave other things. I wish. But riding my bike, I actually crave it. Because you do it loads. It's kind of good when you get into a job or some sort of routine where you have to do the routine, you have to do the job. And I had no other option to get to that place than have a bike. If I had to walk all the way to Manchester Piccadilly, get on the train, and if I had to do all the walking, catching the bus, nah, I want to cycle. And because I've had to do that, it's making my legs dead strong, and it's making me just have to do this routine of constantly riding my bike, and I feel stronger in my legs, and I feel a bit healthier, kind of. I don't eat that good because when you're on the go, I feel like it was easier to eat when I'm at home all the time because you just cook every meal. But, when you work, you go, you know what, I'll have a beer. Why not? I'll have a beer. No, I don't even do that regularly. But you just have like 5 coffees a day because you've been up since 5:30. And then you shit through the eye of a needle. I don't even know what that means. Does it mean because it's so painful? Yeah, it's because the eye... Oh, okay, I get it. I'm really dumb. No, because I'm not constipated when I drink loads of coffee. I'm having painful poo-poos. It's not because of... It's just, when you wipe for ages and it's just painful, and after all people are checking out now. Women have this too. You wipe, and then there's a little fresh pink on there. You're like, oh, that's blood. That's happening almost every day. But I love coffee. I don't even know if I love it. I just like excessively having things. Like, and at the moment, riding my bike is one of them, which is good. But also coffee and smokables. Not crack. Chocolate. I've been eating Easter eggs. Ben, who I live with, got an Easter egg one night. And now I've been getting Easter eggs every night. And I eat them every night. Have I eaten it? I might have eaten it already, and it's only 25 to 10. Jesus, is that the time? Bloody hell, I've been up since 5:30. Anyway. So yeah, I've got that new job. And that's good because I'll actually have some money for once. During this last year, 2019, let's go back to 2018. Shall we? All right, yeah, let's not go too far back. But 2018, I was getting into comedy the most that I've done it. I'd started the podcast on the 26th of February. 3 years old now. Yeah. Even though I'm on 92 episodes. And I was doing comedy a lot, and I was pretty happy, I think. 2019, it wasn't so happy. Bad year. 2020, I was like, this is also a bad year. But at the end, I just got over it all. I just was like, leave that in the past. That's other stuff. Stop moping around. Sometimes you mope around or whatever it is. You do the thing so much. You have your vice or your habit. You do it so much to death, including being sad. And just living in it, listening to sad music. Watching the sad films. Crying a lot. I cried a lot in 2019. And the beginning of 2020. But then eventually you go, stop it. Stop doing that and do your life instead. You keep in your head going, I'm going to kill myself. But you don't. So get on with it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying, I'm not saying, you know what I'm on about. Nothing wrong with what I just said. It sorted me out. It snapped me into shape, I tell thee. So anyway, yeah. And 2020 was that, getting better and stuff. But I was waiting out. Comedy's coming back. My job's going to come back. It did briefly, but then it went again. And the furlough money, it was, kept going lower and lower. Laurel and Hardy, it kept going lower. Stop it. It's going down, right? Didn't have much money. I was struggling, I was. And then I was like, right, I'm sick of it now. I'm going to just get any job. And I went for a teaching assistant job, a supply teacher type job. And then school shut again. So they went, what about this job? It's like a care thing, but it's for... I won't go into it. But I took that. And even though I wouldn't have taken that 2 years ago because I would have had no time to do comedy and stuff. The podcast, already I've missed a week because I've been bloody grafting. Yeah, it's definitely grafting. But at the moment, I can't do comedy. I can't do any of that stuff. I've kind of been broke for too long now. I thought it's time to get your shit together. You're almost 30. You're 30 in a couple of months. And I remember thinking, when I was 29, I remember going, use this year to become an adult. Like when you need to do your washing, your clothes washing, do it. When you need to wash up the dishes, do that. Don't have shoes that are falling apart for ages. Get new ones. Have the money for that. Don't be late for things anymore. I'm coming, yeah, I'm coming. Mate, I can't come anymore. Don't be that guy. Have some stability. At least a dash of it. Don't be a slave to your habits and that. Kind of, still, we're teetering on that one a little bit still. We'll have to chip away at that in the last few months of being 29. The last few months in my 20s. Oh, they've been a glorious time. There's been ups and downs. Anyway, that's not the point. So I got this new job. Let me see what time we're on. We might have to stop soon. No. Got this new job. Cycling there. What else can I tell you about it? I've been meeting lots of new people there. Some of them say I look like Chris Martin. I'm looking at myself on the screen now. You know Chris Martin from Coldplay? That's not me, man. In the famous words of Skepta and JME, that's not me. What you mean, what you mean. That's one of my favourite things ever. What do you mean, what do you mean? What do you mean, mate? What do you mean, what do you mean? What you mean, what you mean? Anyway, yeah, I'm not Chris Martin. They said James Blunt, and I was like, you're just picking guitar, singer-songwriter guy. And 18-year-old me is buzzing because he used to... still, it's all right. But James Blunt, Chris Martin... Then I got James Morrison, and I've had that before. You know, I got a kind of beaky face and stuff. And then I got a girl said that I look like Ryan Gosling. And I was like, you're a liar, but you're a very nice person. You're a liar. Everyone who is listening now goes, no, you don't look like Ryan Gosling. It's like you're saying you look like Tom Hardy or Idris Elba. All English people. No, Ryan Gosling isn't English. He's Canadian. But that was very nice. Anyway, despite what they've been saying I look like, meeting lots of new people and that. One person who is standing out to me is... Do I want to give... How much information do I want to give away about this person? Okay. This is all I'll say. This person is a person of colour. They're not white, all right? Not like me and my white face. They're not white. They have a unique, fairly unique... I mean, there's loads of what they are, and there's loads of what we are. It's different to my experience as a devilish... I can't think of any horrible words to describe white people. Does that make me racist? I said devilish. Does it make me racist that I can't describe white people as absolute? I can't do it. What is that? Scum. There we go. I got something out. So she has a different look on life than me. Anyway. And what I've been enjoying about her is she will want me to make my type of humor. She's letting it. She's laughing at the darker jokes. She wants me to do more of it. One time I didn't chat much, and she went, "What's up?" And that's what I get being a silly loudmouth. Is if you're quiet for a moment, people think that you're depressed. Sometimes it's true, but most of the time I'm just having a minute, mate. But she's been like, "You've not called me a dickhead today." I never called her a dickhead. She's kind of like my manager. But I like that about her. She's cool. And she also, let's say her family's views and her culture's views aren't progressive, aren't in line with 2021's woke culture. Let's say that. And what was one of the things she said? So I've discovered in this job, in care work, that a lot of people have had similar childhoods to me. Most of the people I've talked to, pretty much most of the people in my little sector of the place that I work in, have had family members die, parents die. They've been in some sort of, situations like I have and stuff. And I was like, that's interesting that people who have been through stuff in their childhood that has shaped them into who they are as a resilient human. And I'd kind of say I'm that a little bit. I'll pat myself right on the back and say that a little bit. I'm fairly resilient considering. They all seem to be the people who do this job. And that's cool. I'm going to pause the camera and start it recording again so you don't miss any of this. So, we're discussing this. We're discussing this. I'm really trying not to give too much information away about the job because I don't feel like it's right. Anyway, I'll tell you though, we're all sat around and it's kind of the end of the night and we're all chatting and someone says, one of the ladies says, something about my dad, about her dad. She said he died 2 weeks before my wedding. And we were all like, oh, that's a shame. How normal people react to things. I'm just sat there going, just letting other people do the reacting because I don't know how to go, oh, sorry. Oh, it's bad. Because I'm usually the one trying to stop that from happening to people. When I have to mention it, it immediately comes with some sort of awkward statement or a joke so that someone doesn't have to go, oh, I'm sorry. Because it makes me feel vulnerable and real. And is this a genuine emotion? And she says that. And then another girl who I work with, a couple of years younger than me, she says, my mum died of the same thing that you're talking about at this age. And it was younger. Top trumps. She comes in with 44 maybe. No, maybe a 40, a 46, a 48, maybe a 50. She comes in with a dead relative at about a 50 years old. That's what I'm trying to say. Then the other girl, a bit younger than me, she says, my mum died at 30 odd or something like that. No, 40 odd. And then I went, oh yeah, and I pretended that I had dominoes in my hand, and I went, my dad died at 39. God damn it. 39, I said. I said 39. And I thought I was the winner. But then, girl younger than me, whose mother had died, a couple of years older than my father had died, she then came in with my dad, 27. Boom! 27. I couldn't beat that. Not only that, orphan. Can you count as an adult orphan? Both parents gone. Before 30. That's some impressive stuff, that. And what I mean by impressive is that she's a person who's holding her shit together. I said to her, and if you ever see this, know that I'm in deep respect of you, and this is not taking the piss. I remember saying to her, my mum had COVID over the new year, and I was panicking, thinking, if something was to happen, I'd dye my hair blonde, I'd get face tattoos and piercings, and I'd become a gay prostitute, and I'd carry knives and guns, and I'd start doing crack because I've no parents. I didn't quite word it like that, but along the lines I said I'd go off the rails, and she said, oh, I did go off the rails. I worked in a call centre for a while. Wow, if that's your bottom, a call centre, you must have had a pretty good life. I'd say you have a pretty good life. No. Both parents are dead. That's pretty awful. But she's a resilient human, and it surprised me that everyone in that job. I keep talking to people and they go, "Well, yeah, my family member died when I was, my mum died, my dad died, whatever it is." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm seeing a pattern here." But this lady, I almost said her name then, the person of colour who I'm getting on with, she said at one point during this conversation, this is why I brought it up, we're all discussing how our parents died. And it was all alcoholism, substance abuse, addiction. And she said, oh, but that's a choice. She said that's a choice. And initially I was like, whoa, that is a bold statement to make. And I was ready to just be like, I was a little bit shocked, like, whoa, Jesus, you actually think that? But then I considered her religion. And I thought, why would she know that? I bet there's not much of that in her world. And it took me 2 seconds to go, okay, I can see why she might think that. Let's have a discussion about it. So I start trying to discuss it, but the other two ladies, one of them a little bit older, middle-aged kind of thing, she got very angry. And it's her manager as well. She got quite angry about it to the point where she was almost in tears saying, can we just move on? Can we just move on? And I kept trying to push it a little bit, not to be a dick. I thought that if you burp twice, then our parents will come back. No, I thought that if we just discussed it and I didn't come into it angry like they were, we might get to the bottom of why she thinks like that. And because I'm coming at it like, oh, well, why do you think that? And then she tells me and I go, yeah, but do you not think that? And then I come in with a thing and I say, it's actually been proven that addiction is an actual condition. It's a disease. And I come in with stuff like that. But I didn't have a chance because they were getting very offended and they wanted the conversation to stop. I was thinking, that's not how you get people to change their mind. If you have, not that you need to change people's mind, but if you think that they shouldn't think that, then why not discuss it with them? She thought that we all were under the impression that addiction is not a choice, where in her eyes, it is. It's something that people go, I'm going to do this. I don't give a shit about anyone in my family. I don't give a shit that I'm straight, but I want to suck some dick for some heroin. I don't give a shit that I just killed that guy because I want some crack. I don't give a shit that all my teeth are gone and I look like Skeletor because of meth. She thinks she thinks that that's the decision. They go, fuck it, I'll do it. And I tried to discuss it with her and they were having none of it. But I like her the most because her outlandish opinions, when she comes out with them and she just freely says them, I'm like, yeah. And she's never saying it maliciously either. She's kind of like, just, this is what I think. And she also will, at one point I made a joke about, she said some joke about her getting me to work and stuff and, whipping me into shit, whatever it was. And, I got him doing some work, in front of everyone. Then I said, yeah, she kept going, run white boy, run white boy, run. And I was making a race joke, and I also made another race joke. She made a race joke, and I'm like, this is cool because they're not bad jokes. They're just like silly. We're dressing the elephant in the room and the difference between us, in the same way that the difference between our opinions differ. Why not discuss these things? So that's been fun about my job. What else has been going on? Spoke to my mum on the phone today, and she was expressing some concern about my grandma, about her perhaps being a little forgetful in her old age. And she was discussing it, and she was kind of worried about the fact that, like, say I think she left the hob on. And I was thinking, what if she gets to the point where she lives on her own and people visit her? But what about when she gets to that point where she's a danger to herself? Because her friend, who she grew up with, this lady Ellen, she recently went to she has dementia, and she's gone into a home, and my grandma is like, I don't think I'll see my friend again. She's gone into a home now. She lived down the street. We lived together when we were young adults. We were neighbours. That's like 60 years ago. 60 years ago. Like the 60s. Yeah. That's how long ago they've known each other, and they've known each other all that time. And she watches her leave the cul-de-sac that has been my grandma's house for decades. She's obviously been friends with him. She, bye-bye, I might not see her ever again, because she's losing it. And she's going, she was like getting violent, because obviously if you don't know you're losing it. If your husband, who you've known for 50, 60 years again, maybe longer, if suddenly he is just some stranger in your house going, are you alright? Like going up in your face, and it's someone you've never seen before in your entire life, then of course you're going to be like, get away from me! And also you don't even know who you are. You're just all of a sudden like, just a newborn again. Is that what it's like to have dementia? It's like you've just landed on Earth and you go, whoa, 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 just for briefly, or sometimes always. Or do you just remember scattered bits of your childhood? I have no idea about it. Like I said, quite dumb. But I forgot what I was saying. I'm losing it. So my mum is just expressing a little concern about the fact that she's leaving the hob on, she's being a bit forgetful and stuff like that. Which is what is expected of an old person. But my mum is like, I think she's just fearful of the day where she has to accept that she and my auntie and my sister, perhaps me when I have a car and stuff, can't handle the responsibility of looking after someone. And there are professionals. I'm not doing that kind of care work, but I can completely understand with the people that I'm caring for why you need to take your family member to one of those facilities and go, I could not live a life if I had to do this by myself. You just could not have a life. So I get it, why my mum was fearful. But then we got into this discussion of my mum's childhood and my grandma and things like that, and my grandpa, I used to call him my grandpa. And my mum was saying that she saw the Drifters. You know the Drifters, that old band. 3 African American gentlemen from New York, and they sang. Shit, I forgot. I was singing it before, and I've completely forgot what it is. Anyway, famous band group. I think, I don't know, whatever. from that time, the 60s, 70s, 60s, I think, they saw them in Lee. In Lee. Do you know where Lee is? If you don't, just Google it and you'll know everything you need to know about it with the top 5 headlines. You'll be like, whoa, they played there. There. I'm really trying with my those. I thought that was cool. She's telling me all these stories about when she was a kid. And I was like, I need to know more of this stuff. I need to chat to her more about past stuff. And I need to go and see my grandma again. I think she's had 1 vaccine, right? And if she has the two vaccines, whether or not that's going to do something and actually prevent her from getting COVID from someone, prevent me from being a carrier, whatever, it's almost like if something happened, no one would be like, why did you do that? It's like she was vaccinated. So why not see her? I don't know how it works. Someone else tell me what to do. But when I see her, I'm going to ask her all this stuff. Because I wish I could do that with my grandpa. I remember talking to him about his time in the army. And I remember him telling me that he saw a guy stood next to a helicopter. You know where this is going. And the helicopter chopped his head off. My grandpa saw a guy get his head chopped off by a helicopter. How mad's that? I think this is a good episode, me. I think this is a good episode. Then put in the comments, I can't believe he got his head chopped off by that helicopter. Cheers, everyone. Toast to decapitation. Yeah, he told me that. I also remember vividly getting bullied in high school. No, primary school this was. And I was telling my grandpa, and then we were in my grandpa's house, and my mum's there, my grandma's there, my sister's there. He's like, come on, lad, we're going for a drive. It sounds like a little frog in my throat, like I'm getting emotional, but I've got COVID. No. I said it. Shit. I said I wouldn't say it, but I said it. Anyway, you just can't these days, can you? It's 2021. That's it's one of the hottest buzzwords there is. Do you hate it when I burp? I really love it. What was I saying? COVID. I was saying COVID, but why? I'm talking about people going senile, and yes, I remember my grandpa being bullied. I'm being bullied. My grandpa, he's going to teach me a man's lesson. He puts me in the car and he drives me off a cliff. No, he takes me for a ride somewhere. I remember the street. I could take you to the street in Hindley in Wigan. I lived in Hindley Green. It was slightly better of the two. Hindley was like a bit rough there. Hindley Green is like a bit less rough there. You know what I mean? And he took me to Hindley on this particular street, facing the market street. It's this like little side street. And we're sat in the car, and he tells me a story about in school, these guys were bullying him. And he kept bullying him. And then one day he goes in, and he goes up to the bully, and he lamps him, knocks him down. And then everyone went, I'm not fucking with Norman anymore. Don't fuck with Norman Watkinson. Don't fuck with him. Because he'll lamp you. He will. And he was telling me that so that I would go in school, and whoever's bullying me, I'll lamp him. That's what he wanted me to do. I think that's what the message was. But I remember that. It's one of the few memories I have. No. He is dead. And what I do with dead relatives is, or even anyone who I don't have in my life anymore, I just block it all out. And I got a call today from the counselling service in Manchester and Salford, who I rang about 6 months ago when I was like, in a call centre. That means that I'm at rock bottom, if you were listening to the episode earlier. When I was not having a good time, I rang them up and I said, counsel me. And they were like, wait, wait, you're on the list. Wait, hold off on the depression. Just hold off. So I've been holding off. And I got a call today. She said, hi, I call in from the counselling. And I went, oh, hi, how you doing? And she went, oh, well, I guess you still want the counselling then. And I was like, what? It threw me off. Is it because I answered so ecstatic, so enthusiastically? Oh, hey, good to hear from you, counselling. Because I could also be like, they're like, oh, he seems pretty happy. But she was like, oh, so you still need it then, don't you? I can tell from your fake happiness, from your insincerity, you need counselling. So I was in work. I shouldn't have been taking the call, to be honest. But I kind of want a break. Anyway, but tomorrow they're going to ring me and I'm going to say, give me some counselling. Because then I might, they'll go, and what happened with this person? And I'll go, and then I answer it and I go, and I start having the flashbacks, and then I go, and I cry, and I lie on the couch, and I say, it started with my mother, it started with my mother. So we'll see what happens, because even though I'm in a good mindset, it's probably a good time to start unpacking it. You don't take acid when you're having a bad time, because you're going to have a bad trip. You don't have an argument with someone when you're in a bad mood, because then it turns into a fight. You don't start unpacking your mind when you're depressed, because it makes you more depressed. So at the moment, while I'm feeling pretty good, I'm going to start going to work at my head, and hopefully the counselling will get back to me and I'll be able to do that. That's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, like I said, my mum's watching The Drifters. Told me some other stories about how her granddad, her grandma owned a cafe, and then my grandpa owned a restaurant in Lee bus station. And my mum said that she felt like the shit when she walked in, because all the other kids are at the table with the family, and she would, back in the 60s, she would walk through the restaurant as it was now. It used to be her grandma's. It's now her dad's. It wasn't hers, though. I wish. So I passed it down. That would be cool. I have a towel over my shoulder, and I'm like, I have an Italian. Mario, it's me! Suddenly I'm Italian. I'm the first Italian in my family. It came out Italian. I don't know what it was. We were all white. There's some American in the family, but really, they're from Ohio, so go far enough back, and that's just back here in Britain. But suddenly I'm the first Italian, and I opened, this is an Italian move, I opened an Italian restaurant in Lee, and I'm known as Mario. Anyway, yeah, she said she walked in there all cocky, and because her dad was the owner, she felt like the shit. And I remember I lived in a pub when I was a kid. Right after my dad died of alcoholism, I lived in a pub. Does that make sense, doesn't it? And I lived in this pub, and I used to feel like, yeah, this is cool. I just walk in and I go behind the bar, get some Coke, not, Coca-Cola, probably Pepsi, and I go and I sit next to the local drunk guy and I read my dinosaur book to him, and he's going, yeah, I remember when my son used to talk to me. Yeah, that's good. Dinosaurs? Do you know what's as old as dinosaurs? The last time I saw my son. Barry. Oh, sorry, it's Philip, isn't it? Barry's my son. I've not seen him in years. Yeah, I lived in a pub as a kid. And also, I'm just digressing. I'm just going, boom. I'm just swinging from branches. I see a topic of conversation, and I grab the branch, and I'm like, there's a completely different thing over there. And I swing to that. That's what this is. I've not been here for a while. I'm just going to give you all the information you can get. All right. I hope it's fun. We'll go into a bit more of the podcast in a moment. Into the actual you'll see. What was I saying then? What vine did I swing to then? When I lived in a pub, I had this conversation with Eddie Ward, a friend of mine, if you're watching this, shout out to you and anyone who knows him. Legend, right? Cool guy. He said to me, he said it actually to me and my ex and him and his ex. We were all together, the four of us. They were our current girlfriends at the time. We weren't just all with our exes. And he said to everyone, he said, we were all talking about school, and like, remember that one kid who used to, you throw pennies at him and he puts his legs behind his head? Remember that kid who would lick the wall, lick the chalk off the board whenever the teacher would leave? Remember that kid who would spit down the stairs, spit down the stairs, and it would land on someone's head, and then he would wank off to it? Remember that? And then he went, remember the kid who smelt like a pub? And everyone laughed apart from me, and I went, what? What's that one? I don't know what that one is. I know what the other ones are. What's that one? And he went, you didn't have that? And I went, nah. And then my ex went, you lived in a pub. And then they all laughed, and they went, you were the kid who smelt like a pub. That's the episode name, Smelt Like a Pub. Could people... No. It might be suggestive of, the pub's opening again. We're going to wrap it up very soon. I've had a bit of fun here, you know. I hope that you've been enjoying it. Speaking of this podcast, I am in two minds whether or not to get to 100 episodes and stop. Let me tell you why. Because podcasts are different to when I started one 3 years ago, on the 26th of February 2018. When I started it then, not only was I one of the only people in Manchester, one of the only people in Manchester to do a podcast in the Manchester comedy scene, not in Manchester, in the Manchester open mic comedy scene to do a podcast, and especially a video one. Not only that, back then, not only, that's my first point. Back then, there was less people doing it. And when I started it, I was like, this has potential to go far. And I'm imagining how it builds and stuff like that. And then as I'm getting to 100 episodes, and I'm 3 years into this, and podcasts are huge, and not only does every comedian that you like and know, every one of them has at least one podcast. Bill Burr, Mark Normand, both have 2 or 3 podcasts each that they're on with someone else. And that's like the top level for comedy-wise, stand-up comedy. You want to watch the best guys, including British guys, whoever they are, who do the podcast. I'm sorry, I just prefer American stand-up. But they're the top shelf. And people want to watch that, but there's so many. I have like 8 that I watch. And the episodes come out each week, and I watch each one each week. I've got about 8 episodes. It's about 8, 10, 12 hours a week. And then if I go the level below, that's all the comedians that I know. And a lot of them have podcasts. And if I was to watch all the ones that I want to watch, it's probably another 1 hour. No. It's probably another 8 hours. That's a lot of time. And then I'm somewhere on that too. And then I also think there's so much stuff. You go on Instagram, and all the people you follow, they're just posting stuff all the time. All the people that, and by people that you follow, I mean the celebrities. Then your friends and acquaintances, they're all, look at this, look at this, look at that, look at it. I'm doing it too. Look at this. Do you want to watch this? Do you want to? Look at it. Is it funny? Do you like that? How's this? Do I look good? Who's that? That's my mate. I've got him on there so that you'll maybe click on it. More likely, he's handsome. He's not as handsome. Makes me look better. Do you like it? That's what I'm doing all the time. Not all the time. I try and do it very sparingly, but I'm still doing it. So the fact that someone is watching this far into this episode, like an hour in, that to me is like, why? So what I might do, because there's so much stuff out there, and podcasts are different, there's so many more of them, And it's a lot of effort, especially if you have a full-time job. It's a lot of effort. I do enjoy doing it. But what if I stopped at 100 and I went back through all the episodes and I took out clips of the best bits and I start uploading them? And then people actually who would maybe never have watched it ever, they could have started seeing bits that I think are, maybe I had with another guest, maybe I did by myself, and I think they should be seen. They're good. This is why I did it. It's for these moments. So why not showcase them after the 100, and we'll see where things go from there. I think I might do that. So we're on episode 92 now. Perhaps there will be 8 more episodes. Okay? If you don't want that to happen, if you want me to continue doing it, then and I'm not going like, please, I kind of want to stop doing it. Not in like for that reason, just like, it's not the most efficient thing I can do with my time. And it's oversaturated the market now. I'm like a white girl selling candles. All of them do it. All white girls in the 20s sell candles and plants. No, they sell candles, and with the profits they buy plants. It's my child. I'm never going to have kids. This is my child. Aloe vera. Cacti. I don't know what this voice is. So I'm not going to be someone selling you candles. I'm going to be a guy who's like, I did it. Look, I had a good body of work. I'm Tarantino. I'm getting out while I'm ahead. I think I might do that, But anyway, my point is, in these next 8 episodes, if you really don't want it to happen, if for some reason you as a viewer are like, why would you stop? That's dumb. Then just comment that. Not that. Comment your opinion. And if enough people say something, then I might carry on doing it. And this isn't a plea for you to please compliment me. Nothing like that. It's just like, I don't see why I should keep doing it. There's other things I could do that would be more beneficial. And I think people from an unknown like me, 104 subscribers after 3 years of plugging away at a YouTube channel, and sometimes having brief parts where I take all the videos off and hide myself completely. After 3 years of doing that and 104 subscribers, who am I to expect you to watch an hour of it? Why not give you things, some of the best stuff, in small doses for a while? That's what I think. And obviously when stand-up starts, start doing that more and really concentrate on that. Maybe perhaps do some documentaries about the Manchester comedy scene. Concentrate on the Comedy Vault night. Yeah. There's a fair bit in this. Do I chug it to end? Because I think it's got to go. The camera's got to go off any moment. I don't want to. I've said it now. I'm so bad at chugging beers. You know what? No. I'm a grown man. It's dumb. If someone was like, oh, get in that trolley. This happened recently. I was with 2 pals of mine. Is it not just perfect to just not finish that story as the ending? Yeah. Thanks for watching. No masturbating.